Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is making the claim that there's a decline in opioid related deaths, which is false. And this came out on Stat News, July 12th, 2019. As Trump claims credit for decline in opioid deaths, others see signs of danger ahead. Exactly. This thing didn't subside, y'all. I don't know why he's doing this. I guess it's for political reasons. Washington, ahead of the 2020 race, already focused on healthcare. Trump is boasting that his administration played a huge role in achieving the first annual drop in overdose deaths in 3 decades. The drop he crowd recently is tremendous. But behind the scenes, his administration's efforts to address the opioid plague are increasingly contentious. Two federal agencies are feuding over how to classify certain drugs too dangerous for public consumption. And in the 2+ years since his inauguration, his White House has yet to nominate a leader for the Drug Enforcement Administration. Public health experts caution that not only is Trump claiming victory too early, his sometimes chaotic approach might actually be setting back public health efforts to rein in a broader drug plague that currently claims 70,000 lives per year. They are downplaying these numbers, okay? Just know that number is probably triple what they are telling you, or even quadruple, because they only report 22 states and not all 50. So it's always an underreported number. They're going to make the political argument that they're winning, said Regina LaBelle, the former chief of staff for the Office of National Drug Control Policy during the Obama administration, which they can say since deaths are down. But I get concerned that we're going to take our eye off the ball on the broader issue of addiction. Trump's triumphant declaration, he had succeeded in helping to lower the overdose death rate, came a month ago at an event touting the administration drug policy victories and the White House success in pushing major addiction legislation through Congress last year. This is a meeting on opioids. Trump said then the tremendous effect that's taken place over the last little period of time. There's a compelling sway to Trump's political argument. The hard hit states Trump advised, like Kellyanne Conway, point to as beacons of progress last month in the Roosevelt Room of the White House include many critical of his reelection hopes: Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, and Iowa. I'm telling you, it did not go down, y'all. I mean, he's not telling the truth. So, for Trump, even some of the Democratic candidates to tackling the country's opioid plague is part of a broader effort to appear tough on drug related crime. He has proposed jailing pharmaceutical executive and infamously um, suggest some drug dealers should be executed. Yeah, well, he's getting that from that Filipino president, because that's what he does with his drug dealers. His administration media strategy has echoed this, the intensity with some television ads featuring people driving cars into wall and smashing their own fingers with hammers so as to obtain opioid prescriptions. Okay, already tension between two drug policy public health advocates, and researchers on one end and law enforcement on the other has spilled into public. The DEA itself has lobbied Congress to expand its authority in an aggressive advocacy push the Trump administration has not formally endorsed. At a closed door briefing for Senate staff June 20th, a DEA chemist urged lawmakers to empower the agency to classify all fentanyl analogs as Schedule 1. Congress aide told Stat, researcher from the National Institute on Drug Abuse, forcefully opposed legislation, saying the designation had little significant basis and could threaten researchers' ability to investigate fentanyl compounds and develop life saving medications, including stronger equivalents of the overdose antidote naloxone. Okay. So, okay. The Senate briefing, which was first reported by Reuters, followed a DEA only briefing on March 1st for the House of Representatives staffers. Both presentations were met with skepticism, according to aides in both chambers. Though the Schedule 1 designation relies on chemical and public health analysis, the DEA has advocated to remove the FDA and the National Institute on Drug Abuse from the process. Wow. I think Trump is just trying to find a way to campaign on this whole thing. But I'm telling you, there are people still dropping like flies during this drug addiction. It's not, nobody is reporting this decline other than Trump. He's really the only one saying there's a decline. So we're concerned that the failure to engage necessary health experts vests far too much authority to the law enforcement agency and may result in action that will deter valid, critical medical research aimed at responses to the opioid crisis, the group wrote. While the enforcement heavy approach carries potential benefits, outside observers say it also represents the latest skirmish in a decade long war between the DEA and the Department of Health and Human Services. So, the fentanyl is still pouring in here, y'all. That has never stopped. Despite the fact that they have been trying to get China to help, China has not done a thing to help stop the fentanyl from coming in. They haven't, all they do is keep coming back with new excuses, but they don't actually do anything to stop all of the fentanyl that is pouring in. Okay. So the move is necessary to guard against highly sophisticated drug traffickers, she said, in which criminal fentanyl kingpins would make a marginal alteration, to the drug compound for the sake of evading U.S. drug laws. And they're right. Anytime they make something illegal, all they got to do is change something in the drug itself, and it's not illegal anymore. And they have a hard time keeping up with the fentanyl because the Chinese are constantly changing the fentanyl. Once we got a fentanyl related substance permanently scheduled, the drug traffickers, who are very smart, would alter that molecular structure just by a tiny bit. And then obviously it wouldn't be illegal in this country, said John Martin, an assistant administrator for diversion control at DEA. Yeah, and he's right. It is a cat and mouse game. It's so easy for them to do it. And that's how they have been able to stay ahead of the law. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about Trump making this claim that he has slowed down the opioid deaths? I mean, we know otherwise, but I also think that's dangerous too, because now you're going to have people relaxing about this and falsely believing this is true. But look, what do they say? The proof is in the pudding. There's not too many people walking around that don't know someone directly or indirectly that has a drug problem on these opioids or have died from it. They know someone or know of someone. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.